All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming this morning. My name is Melissa Russell. I am your Regional Amber Alert Coordinator for the Deep East Texas Regional Amber Alert Program. We are here this morning to provide updates and more information on the missing 5-week-old infant out of Wells, Texas, Armaidre Argumon. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Cherokee County Sheriff Brent Dixon.
Thank you all for coming today. First, let me start off by thanking all the law enforcement officers who have been involved in this process. Thank the Wells Police Department, the members of Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the Texas Rangers Division, Child Protective Services, the TDC K-9 BETO Unit, and the East Texas Center for the Missing. We're in search of a missing child, Armaidre Argumon. He's 5 months old. He was last seen on Forest Road in Wells, Texas. Armaidre was seen with his father at 8:30 on September the 18th, 2020. Since that date, Armaidre has not been seen. We do have Mr. DeAndre Argumon in custody for a related charge to this incident. He's in custody for endangering a child and or abandoning a child. I'm going to go kind of through the process of what we've started off at the scene. On September the 18th, 2020, Cherokee County Communications received a 911 call at 1:38 advising that they could not find their 5-week-old baby. At that time, Wells Police Department was notified. Upon arrival to the scene, Wells Police Department began their investigation and determined that the child was in fact missing along with the father. Cherokee County Sheriff's Office members and personnel were then dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival to the scene, we began to locate Mr. Argumon and the baby. TDC K-9 dogs were brought in to try and locate the baby there at the scene, and while attempts were being done to attempt to locate Mr. Argumon in the community. While processing the scene, FBI members and the Texas Rangers were contacted. Texas Ranger Nick Castle arrived on scene and began assisting in processing the scene and interviews being conducted. During all that, Mr. Argumon was located. He arrived back at the residence, and he was taken in custody at that time for an unrelated charge of unauthorized use of motor vehicle. We began to interview individuals and go from there. As far as the scene goes, Mr. Argumon was not cooperative in the investigation and attempting to locate his child. And we're asking for the public's help now. We're asking that the public be vigilant while they're in the community, while you're on your property, your deer lease, while you're visiting your family at the cemetery. Be vigilant. Look for anything out of place. Look for small, fresh graves. Just anything that would raise a suspicion. Do not touch it, and please call local law enforcement. I know there's been numerous groups in the community doing searches and conducting searches on their own. We greatly appreciate it, but I do ask that if you locate something, you do not touch it, and you contact the Sheriff's Office so we can preserve that evidence for future criminal charges. If anyone saw Mr. Argumon on September the 18th, 2020, between the hours of 10:30 and 12:30 in his gray 2003 Ford Explorer in the Wells, Forest, or Angelina community, please contact the Sheriff's Office. There is no information too small. We need everything we can get at this time. If someone out there happens to be holding baby Argumon in order to protect it from the family or in order to help Mr. Argumon out, I ask that you come forward at this time and help us return this baby back to its rightful mother. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Russell with the East Texas Center for the Missing as far as the Amber Alert goes and the Crime Stoppers program. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, Sheriff. Just as a brief overview regarding the Amber Alert, we were notified at 4:29 p.m. on Friday, September 18th, and the Regional Amber Alert program was activated at 4:55 p.m. with the initial broadcast by our partner, Kix 105. We have continued our coverage through our partnerships with local media and news broadcasters, including KTRE, KLTV, and our media print. We will also continue to pass out flyers. We will continue our social media presence through our Facebook pages, Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, Wells Police Department, and East Texas Center for the Missing. Just wanted to say that we do not give up on our children. We'll never stop looking. We'll never stop searching. If you have any tips, any information, please contact Cherokee County Sheriff's Department or 911. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
Is there any evidence that any other family member is involved?
Not at this time.
Any other questions?
Cherokee County Crime Stoppers has issued a reward for any information that leads to the arrest or prosecution or return of the baby, and it is a substantial amount. So any information, you'll be rewarded for your information if that will help you come forward. We're doing everything we can. We have numerous people involved in this investigation, and like Ms. Russell said, we're not going to stop. And, we're going to do everything we can and in our powers to return this child home.
If somebody is interested in getting in on a search party, who do they contact?
As of right now, there hasn't been any law enforcement group search parties conducted. We've conducted numerous searches of different areas as law enforcement. We have a wide area that we know he traveled in, so we cannot narrow it down to a location, but I've seen numerous things on Facebook where the family is setting up or members of the community are setting up searches, and you can contact them. If something comes forward in the next days where we set up a search through law enforcement, we will reach out to the community through Facebook and through the news asking for assistance if needed.
Is there any indication of foul play at this time?
Like I said, the father has been arrested for endangering a child. Other than that, we don't know at this time. We don't have any indications.
Is there a criminal history for the father?
The father has been arrested before. He has not been arrested to a related charge, but he has been incarcerated before.
Has it been determined where he went while he was missing?
No, sir, it is not.
What is the relationship status between the father and the son? Is he married, designated father? Was he living with the child before this happened?
The child is 5 weeks old. The father was released from jail on a parole violation last Tuesday. He had been around the father for 3 days. Yes, ma'am.
Can I please get confirmation on who notified you that the baby and father, I guess, were missing?
A family member.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Is this an only child in the family? Does he have siblings?
He does have siblings.
I'm guessing he's the youngest.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Thank y'all again all for coming, and the community, thank you again for your support. I look forward to working